and stopping them before they really gain steam. But if you keep on platforming people, because you want to keep...
Like, that's not what any of the 3 studies said. The potential adverse effects of banning users on major This is not his argument.
Up their standards for getting motherfuckers out of here.
They didn't say that, though. So they didn't say it either. They kind of said the opposite. They said we don't have a good answer to the question. And he interpreted all 3 of those as... What? Oh, no, that's not what your research said. No, they didn't say that. No. Where? I don't see any recent... Is it in the B-sides? Eh, okay.
It's rough.
God, that's so loud.
So,
that music is loud. Okay.
For those who don't know, figure that has come up a few times in my content, Mr. Sneako, was booted off. He got the Andrew. He caught the Andrew Tate. He was kicked off of YouTube yesterday after also getting kicked off of Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. Maybe some other ones too, but at least YouTube and TikTok. That all happened in the last couple of days. Excuse me. And I have a lot of thoughts.
Isn't it weird how I have 2 emotes related to Ukraine in my Twitch chat? And these were both made like months ago before either of these events happened. One of my Ukraine emotes is a Dugan soy face. And the other is of a pontoon bridge. What? What's happening? Why? Why did this happen? Come on. How fucking prophetic. Make a Putin emote. No. No. People wouldn't get it. All right.
I have a lot of thoughts. A lot of conversation that occurred in that time frame about like multiple subjects, not just Sneako himself.
I know fucking world tour groups.
But
shit.
Let's talk about it. So I want to start off first by like I want to start first with empathy. I want to lead with empathy.
Hey.
And like I think a lot of the other conversations I got involved with on Twitter trump this. But I want to put this out here that I am genuinely feel sorry for Sneako.
Okay.
Now, do I think Sneako deserved what he got? Yes. Did he earn this L? Most definitely.
Was there a reason stated for his ban? Because if it was like the Andrew Tate thing where they're just like generally he's dangerous, I'm like, I don't know. But,
you know, in general, I never like to see young people lose their livelihood, etc., lose their dreams. But in particular with Sneako, there's a sense of loss. So for those who may not have been here, when Sneako first, well, I don't know if it first started popping off because I was maybe late or came in the middle of
COVID
his
denial.
red pill speed run to get banned. But like I remember watching Sneako talk to ABBA, and you know I have my criticisms of ABBA and Preach. Those criticisms still stand, but within all my criticisms, especially when it comes to men and boys, specifically black men and boys, and although Sneako is biracial, he still very much presents as a light-skinned black guy, biracial black guy. It was troubling for a second when I was watching him talk to ABBA, and you know, despite ABBA's best efforts, it was like, yo, this young dude is not listening.
And then I get to my latter years and and talking with my parents and understanding, what I realized wasn't that these people were trying to feed me a lie.
They just cared about you.
Exactly. They were trying to feed me what they thought was
which
right.
is a lie.
Hold on. It's not that they were trying to.
So he's anti-Semitic? Yeah, just some stuff about how Jews run everything, But again, it's not like any amount of deplatforming has stopped people from believing that. Okay, like We had a fucking world war over that issue, and people still believe it. You know? Okay.
They were lying to me.
They didn't know they were lying.
Okay, exactly. So
yes, that's why I'm angry. Because everything people believe in is
breathe. Bring it down.
Oh, why bring it down?
Hold on.
Let's just relax.
I understand.
Wait.
He is not listening, and he does not get it. And it was and like part of me was like, man, is he going through something? Is he having like a bit of a breakdown? And then as I watched more and learned more, I was like, nah, this ain't really a breakdown. This is just the right wing grift. This is the red pill grift. This is something that people on the right and conservatives have been doing for forever. You come through, because there will always be, as long as we live under a patriarchal society, there will always be prepubescent and teenage boys and young men out looking for ways to understand the world and like reaffirm and reclaim their masculinity. Yep. Always. That will always be the case until we break down those systems. Because that will always be the case, there will always be older men seeking to get rich off of that pain.
Yeah.
Period. Andrew Tate wasn't new. Kevin Samuels wasn't new. All these other cats, they were not new. It's just social media created a new venue to make that even more popular and more popular. And so don't get me wrong, again, I don't feel sorry for him in terms of like he not getting what he deserved, but his story is, I hope, a cautionary tale on some levels, because unlike most of these cats, from what I was able to see, from what I've been told, unlike a lot of these right-wing grifter reactionary types, Sneako had actual talent in something.
It's sad that Sneaker's going to take so many of his fans to Rumble now. I mean, that's the problem, isn't it? Is that he's potentially also taking thousands of people over to Cozy. Like, that could happen, if it hasn't already. I don't think it's happened already, but yeah, that's a big problem. And isn't America already in a situation where the left and right of America are just so fucking polarized that they're all just getting their information from completely different sources anyway? And it's like, it's impossible for them to have a conversation with each other anymore because they're both just in alternate universes. That's a problem, though. That's a big problem with the fact that we're not in the same space as each other. We don't have like discourse. I know everyone gets tempted to talk about the 1930s in these conversations as well, because in the 30s, when fascists came into town, at least in the UK, it's a bit different in Germany, but when they came into town in the UK, a bunch of fucking communists with support from the Bolsheviks across and over in Russia, or the Soviet Union at that point, would just come out and meet them and trash their events and chase them out of town. Problem is, you can't do that anymore. Like, you can't chase people off the internet. You can chase them off of some corners of the internet where their ideas will just permeate somewhere else. But people who get chased out of one space have recourse. And also, if you do that, they get to appeal to your values. They can appeal to your values of free speech, especially when you're when I don't feel like anyone on the left has a consistent and like nuanced view of free speech anymore. It's just they're right wing, we don't like them, ban them. And that's really fucked. That's a really fucked standard. That shouldn't actually, even if you are for deplatforming to some degree, that shouldn't be your reason for doing it. Like, so yeah, I don't know, times are different now. Like, and people, like, the lack of communication between people and the age of communications is it's a problem. And it seems to be the case that a lot of these guys like have taken the road of just abandon them. Just be like, fuck you, I'm not making any content for you. Like, I'm not appealing to you. I'm not going to try to empathize with you. None of that. And the problem there is, which is, it's okay. Like, if you want to do these videos where you appeal to people who already have some interest in left-wing theory, who already know a bit of the jargon, who won't glaze over when you mention the material conditions. If you want to appeal to that audience, that's awesome. That's fine. Like, make content for left-wingers. That's fine. I love that. But that's actually like, that's not the only approach. That's not the only thing you can do, though. That's one type of content. And it's when people like this will like step out of that lane and tell people who are engaging with the other side like how they should do it. I think there's a bit of an issue there. Because you're kind of suggesting that your way is the only way of doing things.
More to give than, you know, SJW Theo content. You know what I'm saying? I talk about it a little bit in this video I got coming up. I'm not gonna go through the whole thing, but it really just like, from my perspective, not knowing Sneako, not having watched the whole scenario break down over time, but it is very clear that this was a dude that could have made a decision to go a different route, that had a dope support system according to him, that had, you know, did not have to do this, did not have to decide that he was gonna be, you know, the alpha red pill, whatever type of dude, and went the other route, went the easy route. He saw the dollars and cents, he saw the quick hustle, and a big part of the pie, an easy piece of the pie to get is, let me do this red pill shit. And even in the red pill space, like for every Sneako or, you know, Andrew Tate or whatever, there's 500 little niggas with you know, with 40 subscribers talking crazy into the ether. Whenever I search my name on YouTube, it's 15 manosphere motherfuckers talking shit to like 4 subscribers. So like, it's not even guaranteed, right?
Oh yeah, there's loads of like there are lots of failed, like we only see the best of them. That's funny. Okay, cool.
Most of those dudes also aren't talented. They also aren't charismatic. They also don't have an eye for anything. And Sneako had all those things, but I don't know this person, but I know that his behavior it resulted in what we have right now. It's a case study in a lot of shit I was talking about in my other Manosphere videos, where folks will jump out and talk all this shit about, you gotta go get it, you gotta work extra hard, you can't have no friends, you can't love women.
True.
You gotta Sigma hustle grind set, you know, alpha male, dopamine detox, no fap yourself into being rich. Buy this Bitcoin. It's like, it's get rich or die trying. You know what I'm saying? And like, this is a perfect example of the fact that, so Sneako still, I'm sure he collected a nice amount, several bags in the last couple of months. His numbers went up a ton. I hope that he takes a moment to disengage from the community he surrounded himself with. Maybe go back to the folks he started with. And like get out of this red pill nonsense. But I lost my train of thought.
Fuck, there's so many people in here. What the fuck?
But yeah, like this whole Hustlers University mentality, that shit don't work.
Yeah,
this shit does not work.
It really
You
bad.
might get a bag early on, you will lose it later. Anything for clout is not like, that's a derogatory phrase. So like, you know, RIP, low key. But let's be clear.
I also want to hear like a really specific case for deplatforming Sneako himself, right? Because the fact that he's kind of like scamming people with some bullshit fucking like hustlers thing, it's not even really scamming, just kind of like giving people like unrealistic goals and expectations. I don't think that should be bannable though, right?
This motherfucker was wildin'. This dude was not just, so it's funny because here's the sad thing. Sneako didn't get deplatformed for misogyny.
No.
Right? Sneako didn't get deplatformed for, I heard he was simulating somebody getting assaulted or some other bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't get deplatformed for that. He didn't get deplatformed for Nick Fuentes videos. Sneako got deplatformed for COVID denial.
Yeah, okay.
Which, ironically, from what I know about Sneako, just judging from his content, judging from the background that he's presented on cam, that's probably the shit he believed the least. Which tells you how dumb this clout chasing shit is. My camera is running at 10 frames per second. I don't know what that means. Oh shit, it is. Be right back.
A few moments later.
Yeah, he got booted for COVID denial. Because YouTube will let you do the misogyny. It'll let you get away with, casual, low-key diet racism. Mm-hmm. It'll let you do all this other nonsense, but it doesn't play about COVID. And so Sneako was just so gung-ho about this. You're being controlled. They just want to control you, make you weaker. This Alex Jones nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
And just like Alex Jones, you out of there. And it's
kind of a shame. Is COVID denial really that harmful anymore? I feel like we're kind of past it, Also, COVID deniers got banned like fuck. Did it help? Did it really help? I feel like I know all the COVID denial talking points, even though I never really looked that hard for them. I think vaccine hesitancy was still pretty high in some parts of the world. Yeah, did it help? Do people in chat think that's like COVID denial, especially now, is a good reason to get rid of people? You have a 1 in the chat if you think COVID denial is a good thing to lose your YouTube channel for, in October of 2022. There must be some. I'm not a fucking hug box in here. Okay. Yeah.
It's just so dumb. I just hate to see young niggas take L's for unenforced errors. You know what I'm saying? Trash content aside, knowing what I know about the dude, I'm like, I really wish you'd have just had patience. Y'all gotta have patience and grace with yourselves. Y'all gotta have patience and grace. Okay. The Andrew Tate lifestyle, that jet setting lifestyle, regardless of the fact that it's very difficult for normal people to get that. Regardless of the fact that shit takes for on so many levels toxic, dehumanizing behavior on your part to access. There's the other part that shit isn't really that fulfilling. This nigga Andrew Tate seems miserable.
Some child is outside enjoying their life, playing with toys and smiling in the sunshine and having fun.
Oh no.
I hate happy children. Anyway, you're all losers. We've discussed this before.
He seems like a guy that's actually not enjoying. If you listen to what he's saying, clout lifestyle is nice and all.
Didn't we remember we had that trans guy, fucking Oliver, on Power Button Politics, who actually was a vaccine denier until they watched Hunter Avallone debate it. And then Hunter just kind of went through all of the talking points with this person he was debating. And then that was what kind of started them changing their mind on the vaccine. We actually had an example of someone like that on this stream. It was a month ago.
But the nigga don't sound like he's enjoying the fruits of his labor. And he's got people like Sneako that didn't build a fortune on sex trafficking in Romania, following in his footsteps and losing whole ass careers. Yeah, it shit is just sad. So all dunking and shade aside, because that will come. I hope that the young folks that watch Sneako take a moment to really think about what the fuck just happened. Because, I mean, I don't know. And maybe Sneako finds his way back. YouTube will let motherfuckers back on, but we'll see. We'll see. So I made a post on Twitter. I tweeted out something, I guess, right after the Sneako news dropped, because I was actually looking at a conversation Noah Samson was having with some other rando who I don't know. And it was one of these debate folks that was like, the solution is not deplatforming because we need to defeat their ideas in the market. They need to be defeated in the marketplace of ideas. And no, that's stupid. That's not what you do here.
Okay.
Now, let me start with the disclaimers. As I've said 100 times before, that motherfuckers don't ever hear. Debate has a place in discourse. Debate is useful. I would argue that the engagement that guys like Sneako and Andrew Tate had, the negative responses that came out of various different pieces of content on the left side of YouTube, helped led to the awareness that this is a person who needs to go, right? It's useful to arm everyday people with talking points and information and research on why X thing is bad. Now that can happen through reading your own books, doing your own research, a video essay, or a live debate. It can happen in numerous ways. The key is spreading ideas and information. What people, especially debate...
Yeah, did he just say that debating lets people know who we should ban? Debating brings people who have bad ideas to say they're bad ideas so we know who to mass report. What the fuck? Okay. So I really just want to know why... I don't... Fuck. Let's just go.
Debate fans don't like to hear is that giving certain types of people a platform to share their ideas, regardless of if you push back on them in the moment, is a net negative to the spread of their ideas.
It's also because there are certain people, and I know this, who won't watch certain creators like me unless I'm debating someone they like. So I don't think that many Lauren Southern fans would have known anything about who I was unless I spoke to her. And I don't know why people don't get this the other way around, right? Because that video of me fucking debating her used to be on her live channel. Not anymore. There'd be that big gap there, 6 months, 2 months. I have been irresponsibly but like, I don't know why people don't understand that this works the other way around as well. That's why last year or 2 years ago, every fucking right-winger just came out and made a big statement about why they would never debate Breadtube anymore. Remember that? Remember Sargon, Styx, fucking like all these assholes saying that they didn't want to debate fucking left-wingers anymore because they all got blown out by Destiny and Vosh? But I don't know why. I don't know why people don't see how it works the other way around. I don't know why people don't see that. Why do you think that these ideas that Sneako and all that have are so dangerous that we can't debate them, but our ideas aren't good enough that we can let me restart. Fuck. I can't speak. All right. Why are Sneako's and all those ideas so dangerous that we can't expose our audiences to them, but our ideas aren't good enough that they can expose their audiences to us? It
is. There's only so many times that you need to debate a white supremacist,
only
or
so
TERF,
many times, okay,
or some homophobe, or some fascist, or some Nazi. Like,
that didn't make much. It did make sense, Pedro. Fuck you. What are you talking about? They'll say we can't debate right wingers because their ideas are so dangerous that we shouldn't expose our audiences to them. But if that's the case, aren't our ideas like good enough that we should want to expose their audiences to us? Who are you? I'm talking to. Fuck you. Okay. But going to give you a second to figure out what the fuck's going on, okay? Stop making me think I'm not making sense. Fuck you. I think it's a problem like gish galloping and asymmetry, not the actual quality of information. Yeah, you can, like, debate format isn't great for everyone. I know that. I know that people don't really, a lot of people can't fucking stand debates, but some people really like them. And some people will only watch a left-winger like me if it's their right-wing champion debating them. And that's why I think there are certain people who you can only access through debates.
That conversation needs to keep happening, right? But like bringing the same person, especially if it's a person who has been discussed ad nauseum, bringing that same person to talk over and over again is only improving the reach of that person's message. There may be a handful,
but it's also only improving the reach of your message, right? Like if I could debate someone and do it well once and get some audience members of their side to think, oh, well, this Lorner Box guy, these, maybe conservatism's dumb as fuck. Like, maybe. Well, why wouldn't I do it again? Again, the same thing. Fuck, the same thing. If repetition is good for Sneako, who looks bad in these debates, why is repetition not good for the left as well? If like, or the like center left, I suppose, Destiny. Like, why is it not good for the person who looks good in the debate? Why not? Like, I don't know how. Let me see. Let's do some more. So we actually have okay, he's given more of a reason though, because this was not a good reason. The other reason he gave was that more exposure is good for Sneako, the guy who, after Signifier is saying this, loses. He did say that. Like, after Signifier said Destiny made Sneako look stupid. So the question I would ask here is, you would have to imply like, that's what I want to know.
Of people on either side of the equation that gets convinced and pulled out of that ideology. But overall, you're not doing any, there is no such thing as defeating ideologue, reactionary grifters in the marketplace of ideas. They know they're full of shit. They know they're full of shit. They're saying and doing these things to garner attention, to get us to react. And low key, it's our job, it's our role in this ecosystem.
I don't think that. Like, does every like reactionary creator think they're full of shit when they're doing their arguments? Like, is that true? Is that the same about reactionary people? Do reactionary people, like, I think there's a weird thing here where people have like this level of confidence in their worldview that they think someone who thinks the opposite of them can only be doing it dishonestly. I don't know why you would think that. Like,
to speak on, debunk, dunk a little bit, and yes, debate the issues and ideas that these people present. That is a real thing. But once that's happened, get the motherfuckers out of here. Don't platform.
Oh, I think we found the thing. If it's about content and if it's about clout and making content for Destiny, then isn't this kind of like, I thought why is this a problem though? Why is it bad to grow the creator who's challenging the reactionary ideas? Shouldn't this kind of come full circle? Like, I feel like if even FD Signifier is saying that, like, the more people see someone like Destiny making someone like Sneako look bad, the better. Well, bringing Sneako on multiple times is exposing more people to that. I don't understand how it's only, why is it always just like, it's only one way, right? It can only be good for the reactionary.
Yeses. Don't bring them back for debate 5, 6, 7, and 8. And once you've seen it happen a couple of times on somebody else's platform, don't come for your little piece of the clout cookie. Let that motherfucker walk. But the thing that debate fans don't want to admit is that this is their entertainment. They're trying to validate repeatedly debating insert white supremacists here for a week straight to say that's an important thing to do when no, you just like wrestling.
Yeah, but no, I love that. I think that's based. Yeah, it's really, but it also, if you are someone who believes some of those things, and white supremacists will do this a lot, they will see someone like debating a white supremacist who does quite badly, and they'll be, well, you may have triumphed in the field of battle for a day, but I would like to see you debate my next level champion, Eric Stryker. You may have done well against Eric Stryker. God, that guy's actually quite stupid. But you'll never stand a chance against James Alsop. Oh, God, Alsop looked pretty bad too. Well, you'll never, like, they'll do that for, I feel like every time that happens, it must just weaken their confidence like a little bit each time, you know? I don't see why, like, what? So should Destiny have just stopped after his, like, debate with fucking Lauren Southern in 2017 and just never debated, like, white nationalism ever again? Is that how we're supposed to do things? I don't know.
You just like professional wrestling. You just like soap operas. This was, I thought, common sense, but when I started getting to this discourse, there's been a lot of research on this in the last couple of years.
Yeah, I want to see.
So let me pull out some receipts.
Hey.
But all right, so I'm gonna just read. These are 3 studies I came about in like a 20-minute searching that people sent me. The first one, deplatforming the far right. All right, so deplatforming in this sense, this is a quote from the paper. Deplatforming in this sense can be understood as highly effective tool in minimizing extreme speech as alternative platforms that will allow this type of content.
Wait.
So I'm gonna just read. These are 3 studies I came about in like a 20-minute searching that people sent me. The first one, deplatforming the far right. All right, so deplatforming in this sense, this is a quote from the paper. Deplatforming in this sense can be understood as highly effective tool in minimizing extreme speech as alternative platforms that will allow this type of content cannot mitigate the negative.
Give me the quote. Deplatforming in this sense can be understood as a highly effective tool. I think it's... Is this it from Harvard? This is the first thing. Deplatforming the far right. Where do they talk about tool? Oh, for fuck. You can ask my email address, assholes. Okay. Download this paper. Give it to me. Or just open the PDF in browser. That sounds really smart. Give me a fucking... Okay. You're going to say it's a tool. Ah! All right, let's see what...
effect of being deplatformed on YouTube. Indeed, while Alex Jones had over 2.4 million subscribers on YouTube, InfoWars BitChute presence in 2021 is around 125 subscribers. Our analysis shows that the deplatformed far-right actors lose their amplification power. This highlights YouTube's added value for content creators. This highlights that YouTube's added value for content creators does not solely lie mainly in its technical infrastructure, but rather in its 2 billion active users a month. Here's another one.
Okay. So the thing I want to know is, we know it hurts the creators, okay? That's not what I'm interested in. I'm interested in, like, if the consequences of growing alternatives are worth it. Or, like, what your standards for deplatforming should be. Let's go from the top. The content moderation practice is deplatforming. The removal of undesired actors has become common in social media platforms such as YouTube. Little research has gone into understanding the scope and impact of deplatforming. In our study, we are particularly interested in deplatforming the far-right channels to understand the impact of deplatforming has on them. To do so, we analyzed 2 datasets. We check whether 11,198 YouTube channels have been removed in 22 months between 2018 and 19, and for what reason. We then focus on the far right and check whether the deplatformed far right channels have found a new home on the alternative video platform BitChute. Our analysis shows that deplatforming is effective in minimizing the reach of disinformation and extreme speech, as alternative platforms that will allow this kind of content cannot mitigate the negative effect of being deplatformed on YouTube. Okay. That seems fine. Okay, let's see. But it feels like their evidence for this is the size of the channels themselves. But I want to know whether or not it actually kills off the ideas. That's more the important thing. This is about BitChute. I guess it'll be about BitChute being smaller. Few channels garner any relevant engagement. YouTube calls it hate speech. What are the reasons for content moderation on YouTube for different sets of channels? That would be pretty interesting. Finally, we focus on the far right channels that have been removed by YouTube as an active channel. Deplatforming political channels might come with risks. We are thus interested in the temporal dimension and whether deplatforming users can profit from a martyr situation. Where did you discuss this above? Fuck. Masnick? Oh, this is just below the bit he read out. This highlights that YouTube's added value for content creators does not solely lie mainly in its technical infrastructure, but rather its 2 billion users, yeah? We, of course, agree with Jardine's conclusion that deplatforming actors does not automatically delete their malicious content in form of ideas and memes, but it does, as we can show with the case of far-right and conspiracy content in the US, limit their reach. While we could observe a short-term martyr situation that was further fueled by the narrative communicated by the deplatform channel owners, the observed effect for the largest 3 channels was only short-term. Okay, cool. Clear pattern with regard to deplatforming. This. While the complaint that mainstream platforms censor content and thus violate the deplatform channel owners' freedom of expression might hold some merit, our overarching findings rather suggest that the content that is facing deplatforming is also the most extreme and at odds with YouTube's community guidelines, as well as what we could consider from a public sphere's perspective legitimate speech. However, our finding does not weaken the general problem that is deplatforming and censorship. These are very real issues, and it can be considered troublesome just how well deplatforming works in pushing unwanted voices to the fringe. It raises the question whether private platforms should have this power over the network public sphere or not. We, unfortunately, didn't have a good answer to this question. This paper is aimed at contributing to our understanding of deplatforming and its effect on the deplatformed, and more broadly, on the role of mainstream and alternative platforms for the US far right. More research in this field is needed, both to understand how political communities are affected, as well as how alternative platforms are able to buffer the deplatforming, and finally, whether deplatforming contributes to a more extreme discourse or not. Study has limitations, mostly focused on the US far right. Future studies, validity of YouTube's... Yeah, we cannot comment on the validity of YouTube's reasons for every channel. This is a big thing. I want to know, like... Because every time I hear this discussion, it's always about just like deplatforming reactionaries. But reactionary is a really broad term. Because if you're saying that I don't want someone to have a platform because they are right-wing and reactionary, well, or because I find their views harmful, well, if that was me, I would say that like 90% of people who talk about politics on the internet deserve to be banned, right? Like, if you're fucking center right onward, I think your views are probably harmful to society. And if you're the kind of person on the left who is fucking standing the Soviet Union, calling for re-education camps, fucking all this shit, like, you probably deserve to go as well. Like, fuck you. Like, no one would be left. I feel like you need a bit more of a threshold there. But I think the other problem is there's also that research that we found that showed how audiences of people who get deplatformed become smaller, but also more radical. Which means if you're worried about things like school shootings and all that stuff, well, that's like or like mass shootings, I guess, not school shootings. Description of the, okay.
So that's a bunch of
Let's see the other ones. This is about Twitter. Let's try this one. But I don't show my email address. All right. It's just an abstract. Oh, on access. Fuck you. Aiming to enhance the safety of their users, social media platforms enforce terms of service by performing active moderation, including removing content or suspending users. Nevertheless, we don't have a clear understanding of how... Okay. Aiming to enhance the safety of their users, social media platforms enforce terms of service by performing active moderation, including removing content or suspending users. Nevertheless, we do not have a clear understanding of how effective it is ultimately to suspend users who engage in toxic behavior, as that might actually draw users to alternative platforms where moderation is laxer. Moreover, this deplatforming efforts might end up nudging abusive users towards more extreme ideologies and potential radicalization risks. In this paper, we set to understand what happens when users get suspended on a social platform and move to an alternative one. We focus on accounts active on Gab that were suspended from Twitter and Reddit. We develop a method to identify accounts belonging to the same person on these platforms and observe whether there was a measurable difference in the activity and toxicity of these accounts after suspension. We find that users who get banned on Twitter, Reddit, exhibit an increased level of activity and toxicity on Gab, although the audience they potentially reach decreases. Overall, we argue that moderation efforts should go beyond ensuring the safety of users on a single platform, taking into account the potential adverse effects of banning users on major platforms. This is not his argument. Why did he link this? This is challenging the idea that you only think about it on a single platform and just like fuck all the alternative ones. Thanks, I guess. Okay. Did he read all this out when he was fast forwarding himself? The problem I have though is just like people like, I don't know why everyone ignores that second half, because that second half is a really big part of the conversation. Determining appropriate thresholds for deplatforming. This is my big topic though. This is the thing I'm most interested in. Platforms must defend against the second-order harms of deplatforming. We found that deplatforming increased the prevalence of some offensive ideas we tested in this study. Therefore, platforms should be cautious in the aftermath of deplatforming about certain user groups that may increase their spread of vitriolic ideas and conspiracy theories associated with the banned influencer. Careful moderation of posts. This is making... Bro, the careful moderation of posts containing these ideas may help reduce the negative consequences of deplatforming. For this, our methods for identifying relevant keywords and measuring their temporal trends may provide a useful guideline. In a similar vein, we found that although deplatforming helped reduce the overall activity and toxicity levels of supporters, a small group of supporters significantly increased both their activity and toxicity levels. The thing about this is, there wouldn't be a problem with saying I'm okay with fringe people becoming more fringe and toxic people becoming more toxic as long as there are less of them. If that's your position, that's fine. I just don't know why they don't mention this. Thus, platforms should attend to how deplatforming may impact the activities of other users associated with the banned accounts and regulate their activities when necessary. Our data collection and methodological approach may prove helpful in identifying supporters and analyzing their change in behaviors. We also observed that far fewer supporters changed their toxicity levels after deplatforming than changed their posting activity levels. Okay. This suggests that in the face of platform interventions, users may not reform their behavior as much as change their posting levels. Okay. So that's come up twice in 2 studies. Extremist communities are often motivated by alleged aggrieved victimhood to draw greater support, and the deplatforming of their leaders could have been a call to arms. However, our analysis of the long-term activity of the supporters reveals that deplatforming helped reduce their overall posting activity and toxicity levels. Okay. Since the influencers we studied were deplatformed at different times, it is unlikely that the changes we observed are reflective of isolated Twitter-wide trends. Thus, deplatforming can have wide-ranging and longer-term positive consequences on platform health. Cool. Okay. So, yeah, like I don't know why you can't just like address this bit then, because I don't think there's anything wrong with saying I'm okay with smaller communities getting more radicalized as long as it keeps the numbers lower. There's but the one problem is though is like how often can you do that? Because the more you do it, the quicker those alternative platforms will grow. So I maybe want to. The problem is I don't think any of these guys advocating for deplatforming give a good theory or like give a good like standard for how you should decide who gets deplatformed. I think that's much more important. Because obviously you shouldn't have like free speech absolutism. And here's why, okay? First of all, I don't think we should decide deplatforming based on like ideological grounds, okay? You can't just say we debunk this person because they're right wing. That's really fucking stupid, right? I know that's what some people believe, right? But the way I see it is this. Let's say you have a platform, okay? And you have some wankers in the platform, in the space. This is the marketplace of ideas, okay? Whoops. Let's get them all in there. Come on. There they are. So they're all chatting away. They're having discourse. Now let's say okay. This person's bad, all right? They're coming in and they're like taking up a lot of space, right? And they're a fucking mean motherfucker. And they've decided these 2 guys here, right? I fucking hate them, all right? This guy here doesn't like these 2 guys. And he's like, fuck you. I'm going to use my huge presence over here. And I'm going to come here and I'm going to fucking blow you the fuck away from this platform, okay? I'm going to bully you. I'm going to harass you. I'm going to send you death threats. I'm going to fucking dox you. I'm going to do all this shit. I'm just going to do everything it takes to get rid of you, all right? There we go. Bam. So now we have these 2 been chased out.
Remember the Holodomor?
And here is a really good case to deplatform this person because you are forced to make a choice. You can't have free speech for these guys and also for this guy because this guy is making it impossible for these people to engage in the marketplace of ideas. Like, so at this point, you can't just say free speech for everyone. You have to say it's this person. Whoops. Or it's the other way around. Right? It's either these guys, it's one or the other. It can't be both. And then you'd make the judgment based on, well, who's attacking who? Who's making it more difficult for who? That's why you deplatform people. Not because, oh, you're a bit of a conservative and you said some mean things about women, and you are, I don't know, someone told me you're right wing. I haven't even seen any of your fucking videos. You said something, you have this idea that I don't like. Like, fuck, that's not what you do. Because then the problem is you have alternative media over here. And it's quite small, you know? But if we keep on being like, yeah, you, I don't know, COVID denial. You, I don't know, said some weird things about women. You, I don't know, right wing. Why not? You, I don't know, fuck. Mash reported you. Fuck you. You, I guess we clip chimped you and it looked really bad. Then the problem is, where are all these guys going to go? And this guy here is like, hey. There's a bit more room in this space now, you know? You guys need a platform? You guys been deplatformed? Ooh, well. You guys want to come into the alternative? You want to get in the alternative? Okay, yeah, I'll come in the alternative media. Oh, anything goes. No TOS over here. That means we can be even more fucking crazy than we were on our older platform. Oh, yeah. Oh, get in here. And then if you're gonna be as trigger happy as people are these days, this fucking thing's gonna grow, okay? And at what point does it become like we've allowed this platform to grow at an acceptable rate? You have to have a really good reason for putting people in here. Because I don't think vaccine bullshit, at least in this day and age, I think you're fine over here, okay? If you got weird opinions about women, bro, everyone has weird opinions about women. Women have fucking weird opinions about women. Nah, come here, back here, okay? This person, I don't know. This person was making fucking like rape threats or whatever. Okay, you probably belong here, okay? Fuck. This person, well, you got clip chimped. Like, Jesus Christ, that was a mistake. This person here, I don't know. They love Israel, I guess. You probably stay on YouTube. Like, you want to keep this space as small as possible, right? Which means you need a really fucking good reason for getting these people out here. And also, don't just like, I don't know why your ethical position would just be like, well, they're not left wing enough, or like they're too right wing. That's why they should be like, fuck that. Like, that's not a consistent like moral position. Whereas here, you get to take away the fact that like right now, it's very easy for people on the right to say that the left hates free speech, because we kind of do. Like, most people in our space don't think free speech is a good enough reason to keep someone on a platform, right? Like, we think you can lose. We think it should be quite easy for certain people to lose their free speech. Not we. I don't think that, but a lot of them do, and that's a really bad fucking look. Whereas with this situation here, where it's like, if you are actively harming someone else's presence on the platform and it can be very easily demonstrated, then that's still pro-free speech. You're not anti-free speech when you say this guy can't just be allowed to fucking dogpile the fuck out of everyone on here and make it really difficult for them to exist in the space. It's the same reason that you can be a free speech platform like fucking 4chan that bans people for spamming. Isn't that right? Like, you can be pro-free speech and ban spam because spam hurts the free speech of other people. And it's not hypocritical. This is a consistent view of free speech that doesn't make you look like a fucking animal on like social media and shit. Doesn't like turn off every other like person who would probably otherwise be sympathetic to what you believe. Spam is not, well, that's why. I don't think it should, like, I'll give you the hot take if you want. I think if one of these guys is just chilling, denying the Holocaust, and they just really love having Holocaust denial debates with people, they're like Steven Crowder, but all they'll talk about is Holocaust. I don't think that in and of itself is a reason to get banned off the platform. However, if this person fosters a community, a big enough one, and they deny the Holocaust because they hate Jews so fucking much that they want to like make it their mission to get all the Jews off the platform, and they find a few Jewish creators and they start targeting them and trying to scare them away to make it like impossible for them to function on the platform, then yeah, then you go. It's not the beliefs in themselves that get them deplatformed, that should get them deplatformed though. it's like, and then if you have that standard, a lot of reactionaries will go anyway, because a lot of reactionary ideology, kind of like the inevitable conclusion of it is harassing the fuck out of like minorities and vulnerable people. So like a lot of them would, a disproportionate amount of them would go anyway. I think the thing that people don't like is that the same motherfucker, like self-proclaimed Marxist Antifa people who make it their mission to chase Nazis off the platform, even though the person they're calling a Nazi is actually just like a center-left liberal or whatever, like, then they would go too. Because, and I guess that's the bit that people don't like, because there are lots of people on YouTube who are actually quite pro doxing and harassing if they think the person is like right wing enough to deserve it. I'm like, okay. What if having those beliefs in public implicitly excludes people? Yeah, then that's where you would enter into a gray area. But you kind of need to, I don't know, like, you could say that Holocaust denial implicitly excludes Jewish people, but if you're the kind of Holocaust denier that Jewish people can just kind of like not pay attention to online, I don't think it should be like a big problem to have them on YouTube. People won't like that take, but I think most of the case, like 90% of the time, people who are Holocaust deniers will have communities that make it difficult for Jews to exist on the platform. In which case, it'd be fair game for them to go. So I think I would have a TOS that would get most of the Holocaust deniers out, but not all of them.
Remember the Holodomor?
Do we have any problems? Is that like any objections? Thanks, Freddie Drongo, for the tier 1 sub. I appreciate that. Okay. Fuck, we got like a bit more of this to go. Jesus. Oh, his theory was COVID denial. He didn't have any proof of that. Okay. Damn, he said that like he was very sure, but okay.
TLDR, when you get motherfuckers off the stage, they can't spread their message. This idea that we're going to fix the problem by debating Sneako 400 times in a month so he can repeat the same shit. Like, I don't fuck with Destiny. Y'all know that. It should be obvious at this point. I will give Destiny this. He was the first person to make Sneako look as dumb as he sounds.
Let's look at conservatives, okay? Do you think if you had a daughter and a guy like you came up to them,
fuck off,
daughter,
ban streamer, go away.
Andrew Tate,
ban streamer, don't like you.
Quite great too. All right, you know, it's a motherfucker we don't like and we don't feel like dealing with. You can sit. You only got to sit Destiny on him. Destiny gonna go find him because Destiny is a clout monster. He's gonna go find them and make sure to get them on stream. That's what he does. And despite all of Destiny's other fuckery, you can count on he's going to make the worst actors from the right look dumb once they get in his presence. That's nice. Beyond that, though, for the rest of the fucking month, this dude Destiny had Sneako on like once a week. You know what I'm saying?
That's
and it's like,
way too many
that,
times.
It's not about debunking or addressing or defeating a person in the market.
This is the thing he didn't answer. Why not? Why? If I have an argument with one of my friends and then we pick it up the next day, why is the... Yeah.
Place of ideas. It's about...
We've watched this little segment, yeah, but I'm watching it in context, you dumb shit. You want to get timed out again? Fuck.
Getting clout, getting followers, making content, having something to react to. So what we're talking about is, if the issue that we agree on is we want to stop the spread of certain ideas, we have legit statisticians, social scientists, and researchers telling you the best thing to do, if you go through a lot of this research, a lot of things they talk about is that places like YouTube and Instagram, whatever else, need to up their standards for getting motherfuckers out of here. They
didn't say that though. They said that they need to be more careful with getting rid of people because it might risk growing other platforms and like further radicalizing people. They didn't say that. When they said up their standards, they didn't mean ban more people. What the fuck? All right.
And stopping them before they really gain steam. But if you keep on,
They didn't. Wait, they didn't. Wait, where did they say that? Did they? Wait, am I stupid? Fuck. Where did? What did this one say? Might end up nudging abusive. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, this should go beyond ensuring the safety of users on a single platform, taking into account the potential adverse effects of banning users on major platforms. That's not what you're saying. Wait, you're saying get them while they're small? Oh God. Oh no, that's not what your research said. No, they didn't say that. No. What else we got? Different paper? Was there any paper that said we should be more vigilant, like just deplatform the fuck out of people earlier and more quickly? Wait. Maybe Twitter, I think they said something similar to that. This one might have been a bit more. When used judiciously, deplatforming can be an effective strategy to help detoxify social media. Additional research is needed to identify the appropriate thresholds for deplatforming and examine the interactions between online speech, deplatforming, and radicalization. So that one's, I can't read this whole thing. It's 30 pages. That sentence is too long. I can't read. Where's the last one? I mean, the first one. Fuck. This one. This is even just saying, like, it raises the question whether private platforms should have this power. Let's go for this paragraph. I'm pretty sure this is not saying what he said either. While the complaint that mainstream platforms censor content and thus violate the deplatform channel's owner's freedom of expression might hold some merit, our overarching finding rather suggests that the content that is facing deplatforming is also the most extreme. Odds of the YouTube's community guidelines as well as consider public sphere. Yeah, however, our findings do not weaken the general problem that is deplatforming and censorship. These are very real issues, and it can be considered troublesome just how well deplatforming works in pushing unwanted voices to the fringe. It raises the question whether private platforms should have this power over the networked public sphere or not. We unfortunately do not have a good answer to this question. This paper is aimed at contributing to our understanding of deplatforming and its effect on the deplatformed more broadly, on the role of mainstream and alternative platforms. So they didn't say it either. They kind of said the opposite. They said we don't have a good answer to the question. And he interpreted all three of those as what? Bro, where's the... Okay.
Content, having something to react to. So what we're talking about is if the issue that we agree on is we want to stop the spread of certain ideas. We have legit statisticians, social scientists, and researchers telling you the best thing to do, if you go through a lot of this research, a lot of things they talk about is that places like YouTube and Instagram, whatever else, need to up their standards for.
So when they say up their standards, they mean be careful to consider the risks that deplatforming people can further radicalize audiences and grow alternative platforms, which I would interpret as meaning you should have a pretty good reason to deplatform people, not just do it like really, not just do it fucking gun-ho. But what's he saying by up your standards?
Or get motherfuckers out of here.
Get motherfuckers out. Like,
and stopping them before they really gain steam. But if you keep on platforming people, because you want to keep...
Like, that's not what any of the three studies said. It sounds like he's saying they should make the threshold lower, right? Like, fucking get him out quicker, yeah. That's not what they said, though. Oh, okay. Shit, bro. Shit!
Having the same fucking discussion. I don't know, maybe it's because I was a teacher. Maybe it's because I got kids. If I've had a conversation with you about a problem, and I talk to you about that problem, the problem hasn't changed, I'm not going to keep talking to you about that shit, because it's clear that's not going to solve the problem. You know? So just messing with that shit, messing with the bullshit. But that said, I want to be clear about another criticism that came from that take, which is the problem is still, well, all these motherfuckers here, like, are not to be trusted. Like, I want to be clear. This is not an endorsement of big tech being the judge, jury, executioner for content creators and what type of content is safe for ads or with terms of service, etc. Like, that's not a good thing overall. In a perfect world, we would just not have a social system where spreading misogyny was easily monetizable, right? And if all of these entities, if all these social media companies didn't base engagement on negative responses, didn't focus on engagement at any cost, it wouldn't be so easy for all these reactionaries to grow on these platforms. They are very much complicit in.
So I don't disagree with any of that. The problem with that is like, if you want to like revamp the entire system of misogyny, patriarchy, capitalism, and all that, was like, okay, I'm a YouTuber.
How is Sneako, Andrew Tate, Milo Yiannopoulos, and all these other motherfuckers, they are completely complicit in that type of content being viable on this platform. But, and so when they boot off one of them.
Wait, revamp kind of means like make it better. I mean, get rid of, or, there is an algorithm problem, yeah. One of the algorithm problems is that anger is the easiest emotion to elicit in someone. Or instill. So things that make people angry get boosted the easiest. I think that's true. And there's the Facebook whistleblower who said that. And that's a problem because extremist content makes people the most angry, right?
It's nice. It helps.
And disinformation makes people more angry. That's why, when the fucking Queen died, all the threads that had the most bullshit in them went the most viral. All the ones that just said a bunch of shit that wasn't true, or that video of some like aristocrat throwing fucking food out to starving kids that's from like the 1800s, and someone said it was the Queen. Oh God, I'm gonna die. Look at that. It's making my stomach jump. Why did they dismount me? Fuckers. All right.
But it ain't a final solution.
Oh God.
The final solution, believe it or not, as I said at the beginning,
the final
is
whoa. That's a oh no. You're gonna get deplatformed after you Signifier. Oh no.
You social action, education, and yes, conversation around these issues. Or the thing that people don't understand about Twitter, shout out to T1J, this is like my third or fourth time mentioning this. He did a video a couple of weeks back, or a couple of months back maybe now, about how Twitter is not really representative of like the American population. Like it's people in here, like I've talked about Sneako a couple of times. It's a bunch of people in here that's like, who the fuck is Sneako? And that's real. Like, don't feel bad. It's good that you don't know who the fuck Sneako is. It's people that's like, who the fuck is Andrew Tate? Who the fuck is Alex Jones? Who the fuck is Kevin Samuels? These people are prominent to us because we are paying attention. And it takes a lot of effort for those people to break through into mainstream notoriety. That's when I tweeted out, once mothers of children that went to my kid's school started talking about Andrew Tate, I was like, oh, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. He has gone too far, literally. He has gone too far. Because once you get out of our ecosystem, you got to deal with real consequences. Motherfuckers ain't really like this red pill shit works because those like insular communities either.
I don't think this is a good case to deplatform someone, but this is why I think the standards should be very, very different if you are like mainstream television or something, or even if you're anything that has a kind of like social prestige attached to it, because I think most people still like. I think we're still in the case where like political YouTube is not mainstream. That's why we're allowed to have like all the maddest motherfuckers to roll around in the mud with, because we're an alternative platform for what we do. Whereas that's why I still stand by the thing I said about letting a fascist on BBC Question Time with a panel that just wasn't prepared to take him on. Like even though he did really badly, they were lucky. But that said, like BBC Hard Talk. They never get in shit for like they platformed fucking David Irving. The world-class fucking Holocaust denier guy, like the #1 of the Holocaust deniers. They platformed him right after his court case and argued with him about the Holocaust. But again, BBC Hard Talk guys are fucking giga debate pros. They're so good at what they do, and he just looked kind of dumb. He looked petty and stupid, like so. But no one's against that, and that's fucking BBC. Like, the BBC will take on the worst extremists, and they've done it for a long time. Anyway.
It up, and it insulates them.
You should watch David Irving on Hard Talk. Yeah, it's good.
You can't talk that you can't talk that red pill shit in real life. In real life, even the most misogynistic, like patriarchal men will fucking laugh at you if you start talking that red pill shit. They will. That shit is for lames.
Lames.
Sneako, Andrew Tate's audience was fucking grade school kids, middle school kids. It wasn't men.
I don't know, dude. I was walking through a park once, and there was this dude in his 40s listening to Tim Pool. Like really loud on his phone and shit, like listening to fucking Timcast. I don't know, bro. I think a lot of men in their 20s or maybe even 30s are like still just as alienated as they were when they were fucking teenagers. And they, yeah. Maybe not Sneako, but Tate. Absolutely, yeah, for sure, yeah. Or even Fresh and Fit. Hard Talk really is good, right? They will talk to a dictator and ask him straight, why did he commit genocide, not hecking around. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Hard Talk are the fucking... They are so good. Like, yeah. Giga debate bros. We should watch someone stream, actually. They're really good at what they do.
It wasn't men. Men weren't listening to that shit. And that's only because a YouTube, a TikTok will bring you an audience. They will bring you an audience. The algorithm, which is a curse, the algorithm is a gift and a curse. The algorithm, if you make some really good shit that people like, it will bring you an audience to find that shit, and you will get paid. At the same time, the algorithm has no conscience. That's something I talk about.
I love getting paid. Chat.
Way back with Brick Bread. The algorithm has no conscience, no soul, no ethics. It just says, hey, people watched this. They watched it for a long time, and they kept watching after that. And people, this is an us thing, this is all of us, especially people on the left, because we have a real problem with holding on or like getting, stun locked? We will get stun locked on negativity. That shit will ruin our day, and we'll be on Twitter all fucking day looking for more reactions to insert thing we hate. Twitter, I'm gonna put T1J's video in the description too. I don't remember the exact numbers, but Twitter is like 60, so first I was like 1% of all Twitter users make up 80% of all of Twitter. Something crazy like that. You know what I'm saying? Something crazy like that. And Twitter is much more left-leaning as a whole than any other, than the world as a whole, than America as a whole. It's much more left-leaning. So what's happening on Twitter? A handful of right-wing reactionary grifters are trolling us. And so it becomes a, a cycle, a food chain, if you will. The people who care about the issues, that suffer the most from those issues, see insert right-wing figure here, say something crazy, they respond. Right-wing figure then, screen grabs or retweets the response, and then all of their troll army comes in response to the responder, and then that responder then, hopefully, if they're lucky, gets back up from the community, and then becomes this food fight.
This is just Twitter. Yeah, I don't disagree with this. I also don't know exactly how much of a problem is, because like the only reason that happens is, let's face it, it's 'cause people like it. People like doing it. Okay, it might not be the best thing for you, but people really like scrapping on Twitter.
But somebody said making bad creators blow up accelerates their demise. I would say yes, but that's playing chicken, isn't it? Like, like Andrew Tate blowing up.
But it's weird because that thing he just said, does it not just suggest that he's saying right-wing people are only bullshitting? Because earlier he said the right-wing people on YouTube and Twitter and all that don't actually believe anything they're saying. They know it's all bullshit. Like, is that really true? I don't know if that's true. Maybe like Tim Pool, sometimes I get the idea that he doesn't really believe what he's saying. Dave Rubin, definitely, but I don't know. Ben Shapiro, Jordan Peterson, why not? Why do you think these people don't believe what they're saying? Why do you think the fans don't believe what they're saying? I'm not sure about that. And it's weird to think that like we shouldn't engage with these people just because they're they're just bullshitting you for content or clout and all that. Well, no, they believe what they're saying. And if you the other alternative to that is just to say, well, Ben Shapiro is like not a serious actor, or like Steven Crowder's not a serious actor. He's just bullshitting you for reactions and content. You shouldn't engage with him. Well, if you do that, that's like a whole audience of millions of people that you're just kind of abandoning. And I don't know about that.
All these people go in cycles. If somebody else is coming, I don't know who it is.
To be fair, I don't know if that's what he's saying. It just sounds like he's implying that.
They'll be here by this. They'll be here by January. By January, we'll know who it is. But Bellamy just said it best: block, mute, ignore all day, every day. So when they get here, if we don't share their shit, they will not get as much reach. But that also does increase their toxicity. Because if we ignore them, it's like ignoring a badass kid. You ignore a badass kid, they will keep doing shit till they get the reaction they're looking for. Shout out to NU.
Wait, but this is also saying we ignore them, but like not necessarily if they're being deplatformed. So what if they're on the platform? Do we just ignore them then? Do we just ignore like the right-wing figures like the Ben Shapiro's and the Jordan Petersons? We just like, why? No, I want to change those audiences' minds. I feel it's quite an important endeavor. You don't have to want to do that. You can talk to your own, like people already agree with you or already have their foot in the door if you want, but I don't know. I like my Ben Shapiro fans. I like getting I like arguing with people like that.
Windows Studios, who just did a video that kind of goes into the complexity of that. But
okay,
when they get deplatformed and they can't interact with us on Twitter or on YouTube, these people aren't that talented. They aren't that interesting. They don't have a lot of original thoughts, so they'll just go away. And shout out to Andy Fantano. He tweeted out, one of my favorite little conversations that happened early in the year, that conservatives don't make good art. And they don't. For the most part, I'm sure there's one or two really good conservative artists, you know, conservative rock bands, country music singers, etc. But as a whole, the people making good, interesting, forward-thinking, pushing the envelope, anything, are coming from the left.
This is a really this might be true today because conservatives have spent the last few decades like I guess like hating anything like out of the ordinary and like dismissing things as like degenerate and shit like that, and especially like conservative dads who will constantly tell their kids to fucking like stop who will constantly tell their kids to just like get a real job, don't fuck about with art, but that's not been true across history. You think like all the great artists of old were just all like left-wingers? Really? Like T.S. Eliot, I don't know, like Tolkien, C.S. Lewis, like you think these people were even musicians? I think like Frank Sinatra was a pretty conservative guy. I haven't really looked into the political leanings of all my favorite artists, but to think that they're all like left-leaning all the time, I don't know. Like I don't know if that's true. It might be. It might be kind of true today. Conservatives are doing really bad on the culture war fronts. Kanye West, eh? Yeah.
Because that's what having that orientation around the world does. It makes you explore and create. And so, excuse me.
But this is a real. I don't know if there's any research for this though, right? Because how can you say that the system that we live in inherently propels people like Crowder and Shapiro and Jordan Peterson to fame? Because there's, I guess like FD Signifier would say that they are leeching off of the impacts that capitalism and patriarchy and all that has on men. But if we ignore them, they'll go away. How is that true? How are both of those things true? The only way that, even if you thought that worked, you'd have to have a concerted effort across the entire left to all ignore them. And you're never gonna have that. Remember 2016, like the anti-SJW sphere? All they needed was 4 or 5 examples of SJWs being cringe to have like 3 or 4 years worth of content. All they needed was Trigglypuff, Big Red, the short-haired woman clenching her teeth. That was it. That's all they needed. You can't just have the entire left ignoring the entire right, like, and just hoping they'll go away. Again, I don't really know if that's exactly what he's saying, but it kind of sounds like it. Yeah.
And so when you get these conservatives out of an ecosystem where they get to leech off the creative energy of more left-leaning people, they don't have shit else to do. So I'm gonna throw a couple of images up here. So give me 1 second.
Like, I'm sorry. Reactionaries will always have one left-wing lolcow to make fun of. They will always have it. Even if you don't engage with them, they can just watch your content and grab shit from there. Like Matt Walsh does this all the time. Even if he's not talking to people, he'll just grab videos. Of course. What are you talking about? How can you hold... Okay, what I want to know is, how can you hold both of these views at the same time? How can you say capitalism, patriarchy, misogyny, whatever the fuck else, systems, all the systems propel right-wingers to fame by making young men angry and alienated? How can you believe that and also believe that if we just ignore these creators, they'll go away? How can you believe both of those things at the same time?
So you understand how this meme works. They're trying to say that all these other social media, these right-wing social media companies that most of you all have never fucking heard of.
By the way, the studies that he linked, all, I think 2 of them alluded to this as well, didn't they? These are very real issues, and it can be considered troublesome just how well deplatforming works in pushing unwanted voices to the fringe. It raises the question whether private platforms should have this power over their networks, public sphere, or not. Don't have a good answer to this question. Yeah, they've like the studies that he posted mentioned this. So let's hear what he's got.
Are growing because they've been deplatformed from Twitter and YouTube and TikTok and Instagram. Right? This is fucking stupid.
Oh.
This is not true.
Okay.
So, first off, there wouldn't be that many of those right-wing media entities if any of them were worth a damn. One of them will have exploded and become something of significance. The only reason they have any attention is because of the small true diehard fascist, super red pill super fans that they have will follow them, and they will become more toxic, and that is a problem. That's a problem that is bigger than any type of content we're gonna make on YouTube. And we should keep paying attention and talking about it. But this idea that these...
Yeah. Rumble's grown what? 77% year-over-year growth. It's YouTube's. It's just revenue. Yeah, but that's the thing is like, is that gonna, you're saying they haven't consolidated into one alt platform yet. If you keep deplatforming them, what do you think happens? Do you think there's a ceiling on how big these platforms can get? Huh. I don't know. Seems kind of short-sighted.
Platforms are growing is no. It's fucking stupid. Aside from the fact that I just shared research that indicates that.
No, your research didn't indicate. Your research said that was a problem and we should be careful with deplatforming. Fuck me, alright. This is just it's just a live stream upload. Like, it's his second channel. I'm not gonna get fucking triggered. And, you know what? I haven't read the full studies. I've just read, like, bits that seem to contradict what he's saying. Okay.
I just went to these places and just looked at their front pages. So here's the front page of...
Does anyone have evidence that that's the front page of Rumble too? Does anyone have the screenshot of Nick Rakita getting 25k views or viewers? Does anyone have that? Was that concurrent viewers? I didn't know he was that big. Anyone want to help me out with that? Or shall I go look myself? Because that does sound quite extreme. You were watching at 21k. Damn. Didn't you? You're supposed to ignore them, Freddy Drongo. Jesus. You're feeding the system. See if I put it into Google. Any images? You just saw a screenshot. He had 100k viewers during the Rittenhouse and Depp trial. Really? Is Nick Rakita like a really big guy? What the? I didn't know anything about this. But, oh, fuck. Wait. Oh, yeah. No, I did see this. Wait, why did it take me to... a list of someone's reply. Fuck me. All right, we're just going to get you. Fuck, Jesus Christ. Why can't I just get this one image, you asshole? I'm getting mad. I'm soying. Oh. A stream about absolutely nothing at all. 20,000 watching right now. 5th of October, 2022. Oh dear. So how is he judging Rumble with this 2-viewer thing? Is it rumble.com? Well, look at it now. Wait, if you go on to Rumble, you got 12,000 watching Rakita versus YouTube. Trump broadcast 65,000 from right side. What is he talking about? How did he get this window? Oh, fucking George Galloway. Russell Brand. I don't know. It looks like people are... it looks like Rumble's doing okay. And will continue to if we keep banning fucking multi-million sub-channels off of YouTube. I don't know.
Rumble yesterday. All right. No views for this motherfucker. 2 people watching, 49 people watching. This is the biggest person with 722.
Ooh, this is a bit... How did he get those screenshots? The live? Oh, if you go to live, it gives you a few smaller channels. But wait. Does that... Oh, no. That doesn't... Wait. That doesn't mean he went onto Rumble, saw editor pics, chose to screenshot live because the viewers were smaller? Did he do that? No way. I can't tell because it's got this different view, so maybe it's like a different browser you'd open it in. Or a different thing. Yeah, I know Rakita got unbanned, yeah. Looks like he was on mobile. Yeah, maybe, let's check. Try rumble.com. No, if you go on your phone, it puts you to editor pics as well. I don't know if you can see that. No, you can't. No. But these are live. Are these live right now? Maybe I shouldn't.
Before we go...
Yeah, this is live right now. So there's like, did he really do that though? I don't want to believe he did that. I thought, okay. Like that would be really dishonest if he did that. Editor pics is right there. Okay.
All right. No views for this motherfucker. 2 people watching, 49 people watching. This is the biggest person with 722. These are not numbers to scare anybody at all. Okay, here is...
he said he went on Rumble himself, didn't he? Oh God, I'm big. Oh God. I'm so I don't want to assume he did that, but fuck me, it's like really triggering if that's the case. It could just... You went to editor pics and it seems to be all pre-recorded. Okay. Yeah, so... No, wait, but is this pre-recorded? This is live.
Gonna really save
it's
back
like
this
now,
country,
right?
because,
Live.
You know, DeSantis needs help. He's been doing a great job in Florida. Kristi Noem and South.
Or is this a past stream that's just giving me a random spot to join in from? What are you talking about? Rakita is streaming right now on Rumble. So if you go to live, it seems to push up low view stuff. Okay, maybe he wasn't being dishonest then, but Mr. Girl Hotline. There we go. Okay. Yeah, so maybe it wasn't dishonesty, but it's not a good representation of Rumble's viewers. It's possible he went on when all the editor picks were VODs. Yeah. But it seems to have this feature, I guess, where it's like pushing small channels up to the top as well. Yeah. All right. Nick Rakita is on right now. Oh,
How does
no.
Keffel Tom kill me?
Ask Keffels.
No.
This guy's dumb as shit. I'm sorry. Oh, God.
The front page of, I think this was Cozy TV. I don't know, one of these motherfucking spots. Yeah, Cozy TV. 61 people, 23 people, 58 people, 17 people. Now I'm sure they have.
Cozy TV doesn't have that many viewers, and I think didn't it get found out that Fuentes does make shit up as well? Wait, Ethan Ralph there with 1.1k, supposedly. I don't know if that's necessarily true, but
Their blow up moments, don't get me wrong. I'm sure they do, but they do not have an installed 2 billion person viewer base that's growing every day, that gets new viewers every day.
no. Well, wait. So Rumble is growing. We just saw that Rumble was growing. Okay. And what do you expect to happen if you are saying deplatform people more?
Yeah, the baby album sales. Yes, Isaiah, basically. One last one, because one of the other ones they posted was I guess something called incels.co or whatever. So this is, I guess, where incels went after Reddit. 18,000 members.
Yeah, that's small.
The incel Reddit at its height had 40,000. So they cut that shit in half. And it's because like conservatives at their core are very empty people. They're people without much real intrinsic motivation or creativity. They spend most of their time just hating on other motherfuckers that don't do what they do. They're the real bots. So this is
We really don't like conservatives in here, eh?
This is a non-debatable thing at this point. Now, of course, people are.
It's the fact that he keeps saying conservatives, and we're talking about deplatforming. You know, that's a lot of people who wouldn't be allowed to speak. That's the thing, is like, I don't know, if you're not going to debate conservatives, that's like half of all the people. It's a lot of people. Shit.
Are going to debate. That's what the debate nerds do. Is they will find the most bad faith interpretation of something you said. They will find the one angle in the one scenario in the one situation where what you're saying is technically not true. They'll create a hypothetical world where, well, what if this happened and this happened, and then say this was going to occur, and then you had these two options. Which option would you pick? And they're going to try to make a thing out of it. And this is not me saying the act of debate, and even debate reaction streamers are not worthy. That's worthy content. Some of the people doing it are shitty, but the content and the role it plays is very worthy. But when people are overplaying their hand to validate keeping and platforming Nazis and misogynists and reactionaries, when these people do get suspended, because this is happening with Richard Spencer, Destiny's done this with Lauren Southern, you get these people that are overt neo-Nazis and you platform them over and over again, and they get to...
I mean, like, Lauren Southern's not an overt neo-Nazi. I mean, she definitely had a lot of indications that she was a covert neo-Nazi before, but like overt neo... Like, she's still pretty far right, but like the Nazism thing, yeah, she's, I mean, if she is doing it covertly, she's hiding it quite well these days. But I guess like, yeah, I don't know why you would say overt as well. She's at least covert.
Subterfuge their shit and rehabilitate their image, and because some people were around.
Yeah, as well as that, like, it's not like people say that Destiny rehabilitate. I think that might be true a little bit, because I saw this when I made my Lauren Southern video about the boats, and the fact that Destiny is too fucking internet brained to care about things that happened like last week. He kind of let her get away with a lot of lying about the boats, and her past in general. He kind of lets her get away with lying about her connection to Christchurch as well, I've seen. And and I've seen in the replies to my Lauren Southern shit that it's like people did. There were people who thought she was a bit better, and it took like that video of mine or like maybe Vadim or whatever to be like, oh yeah, she's actually kind of like, if she had changed, she wouldn't really be saying the things she's saying now about her past. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, she's had a bigger channel than Destiny and still does. So write him an email, he will hear you out. I've already mentioned, like, I've been in his DMs about the Lawrence Southern thing. Like, he doesn't care. He doesn't give a fuck, okay? He is internet brained, okay? It happened more than 3 years ago or whatever. He doesn't give a fuck. I don't think that's a fair enough. I don't think that's a fair reason not to care, though. I think you would care if someone's lying about it now, right? That's what the reason I found the Lawrence Southern boats thing interesting now was because of what she's saying about it now. Same with Christchurch. If she had just been like, yeah, that was really fucked up, that's not happening again, wouldn't care much at all. But she doesn't do that. Like, she defends it, and it seems to be consistent with what she still believes now. So that's a problem. Yeah, anyway.
4 or 5 years ago and saw the rise of the alt-right. They saw it firsthand. They remember that shit. They say, oh, that's not cool. And they have like responded accordingly. There's kids that are gonna start watching YouTube this week that don't know any of this lore. And their first introduction to Nick Fuentes is going to be Destiny's wife giving him cookies.
That's a good argument. I think the friendly patter with Fuentes is quite irresponsible. Yeah, I don't think he should. Even though he's pushing back at all times, yeah, but you don't think she gave him cookies? Didn't she give him a sandwich? I don't know. Fuck. If she gave him cookies, what? Because of the Cookie Monster? That would have been me, yeah. But yeah, no, I think it was peanut butter and jelly. Okay. Yeah, I think I agree with that last point. I don't think hosting someone like Fuentes in a friendly capacity is very responsible. I think that's probably a bad thing to do. If it was just a debate, I wouldn't give a fuck. If it was debate number 70, I don't care. Like, go off, king. But yeah, the chicken and waffles thing was a bit weird. I can't say I wasn't entertained by it, but yeah, there is that thing to consider, is like, if you're kind of making this guy probably more impressionable than he usually is in front of a new viewer, yeah. Oh no, I can't watch that video, Solari, okay. Damn, that was actually like a really, that was really illuminating. Wow. I think that might be a VOD. Even though it's me getting triggered for a lot of it and soying out over reading stuff. But yeah, like, even the studies that he linked were saying the fear about alternative platforms growing is not a dumb point. It's actually very valid.